What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 133 of the Rise to Glory here with Gibraltar Apex, and today we have the rematch against Barcelona as well as a game against Steaua Bucharest. If you didn't watch last episode, go check out. As always, there were some pretty entertaining live comms in there, and as I mentioned, today we continue on with our UEFA Champions League campaign with our 4th and 5th group games of the group stage. And if you look at the group right now, it's all very finely poised. In Group G, we are top on goal difference, but Barcelona and Roma up there too. Steaua Bucharest looking for that win. I'm hoping they can do us a favour and maybe cause Roma to slip up a little bit. Of course, we ourselves want to try and beat Barcelona in today's first game, and well, that is going to be the main aim, isn't it? So anyway, since the last episode, just a few games to tell you guys about. You can see we beat Manchester 62 9-0 and Glasgow United 7-0. Fairly good performances all in all. Pretty happy with them. I didn't talk about them last episode, but we also beat Magpies 9-0 and Gibraltar Phoenix 12-0. Now, the significance of this 12-0 was the fact that Sebastian Gerrard actually sent the record for the most amount of goals scored in a game by a player in the Premier Division, and he got a double hat-trick, which, to be honest, I'm a little bit surprised we haven't had a double hat-trick sooner, but nevertheless, good to see the 20-year-old banging in goals. And, well, we need him to bang in goals, because if you watched last episode, you'll know there were a few injuries, Mosca being the main one, and well, since then, it's all got worse. And let's have a look at it. Let's have a look at the damage. So, Mosca is out injured now with a calf strain for 2 weeks. That is different to the back strain he previously had as an injury. Paul Smith, we already knew he was out injured last episode. He's got 4 to 6 weeks still out with a hip injury. But these are the two real kind of killer blows. Carlos Andres Mora out for 7 to 9 months. I mean, I hate to say it, but that's probably his time at the Apex over. His contract runs out at the end of the year, and he wants me to sell him, and, well, I can't sell a player who I've promised to sell if he's injured. As a result, I expect him just to leave at the end of his contract, which, if I'm honest, is a massive shame, and it's sad that it's going to end like this. It'll be interesting, I guess, to see in 7 to 9 months' time just how much he's declined as a player, because that is a very long time to be out. The other injury, and perhaps an even bigger kick in the teeth, was Mini Mosca getting injured. Of course, Mini Mosca, we signed at the start of the year, 20 years old, Brazilian, played a lot of first-team football for us, impressed me. He broke his leg in training. It was a lower leg break. He's out for 6 months, half a year. So that's probably his season over, really, for the most part. And if you can't tell by the way I'm talking, I'm absolutely gutted for this guy. I was really excited by this guy as a prospect. You know, he'd played 2 games for us, come in for £5 million, was looking like a good little bit of business, was showing signs of promise, and now, well, he's got a big injury to bounce back from, and yeah, just a massive kick in the gonads, really. I'm hoping we can bounce back regardless. So that's the injuries, and to be honest, that's like the biggest news of it all, really. Today, we are, of course, going to be taking on Barcelona. They're going to play a 4-4-2. We're away from home for today's game. We're actually going to play a narrower system. The reason behind this being is that Paul Smith's out injured out on the left, and I think we have the most strength playing down the middle of the side. In terms of how I actually want to line up for today's game, I need to decide. That's always a good thing to do before you start. But yeah, we need to work out exactly how we want to approach today's game. This is the team I think we're going to go with. I'm just going to sort out the bench real quick because we don't want to be lacking options on the bench that we kind of need. We'll put Gary on the bench, I think. Gary for Felix. Felix, of course, coming in to be our second choice goalkeeper, but traditionally we don't really play with a goalkeeper on the bench, and we're not going to here. We're not going to change things. I think Filos can also probably be dropped just because we've already got a Forster who can play out on the left and Junior who can play out on the right. Who do I want to bring in for them, though? That's the other issue. I've got injuries, so many injuries right now that the bench just feels a little bit bare. I think this is the team we are going to go with. As I mentioned, we're going to try the 4-3-1-2 today. In terms of the team, we go with Young in goal. He's looking very good, the Swede. Still as good as he looked about 5 years ago when it comes to his attributes. He might have even improved a little bit of late. Anyway, at left back we go with Murphy Cabasele, of course the Belgium, and back in the Belgium squad as well. Since he signed for us, hadn't actually made an appearance for Belgium, which was really annoying and really frustrating, and I kind of felt like the Belgium national team manager was kind of dismissing our league a little bit, and that was the reason he wasn't getting in the squad. So I'm delighted to see that he's been recalled to the squad for the next kind of set of national team games. At right back we go with Gaiganov, of course, just a really good player for us. At centre-backs, we go with McMaster and Mustafa. kind of the little and large duo, the pacey guy and the big guy. And, well, the big guy here, he's improving still at 25, which is really exciting. The fact he's got 13 acceleration and 12 pace, I still don't know how we got that out of him, because he wasn't very fast when he joined us, and we managed to somehow eke out that improvement there. And actually, looking at his pace, it's not far off being rounded up to 13, so maybe it may even get to that elusive 13 pace, 13 acceleration, which would be really good for him. Anyway, in the midfield, we're actually going to play Graphite as centre mid-defend. With some of the injuries we got with Mustafa Jr. out injured, with JJ coming in to play box-to-box midfielder, I think Graphite's going to be the player for us here. Of course, long-term servant at the club, played a lot of the time at right-back. Today he gets a chance to play a slightly more defensive role. Anyway, to his left, we go with, of course, Ismail JJ. The Ivorian has had a haircut, and I can't say I'm a fan. So that's a little bit of a shame for him. To his right, we, of course, have Joe Bouchard, who will be carrying the captain's armband. Paul Smith, out injured with that hip injury, means that Bouchard has now kind of stepped in to be our captain over the next few months. And so far, he's done a very good job leading by example this year. Anyway, at central attacking mid, we go with Gilvan, the Brazilian. Still, I feel like has a little bit of a point to prove in Europe. You know, he's played very well in the Primera division over a number of seasons now, really. It's just a case of, can he start to get the goals and assists he gets in the league in Europe? That's the big test for him. Either way, up front to round off our team today, we have Sebastian Girard. And alongside the Belgium, we have Fernandez. The kind of, I was about to say the pacey poacher. That's pretty much him. The pacey poacher. It feels a bit underwhelming to call him the pacey poacher. And it's, I bet I probably couldn't say the pacey poacher 10 times really quickly. Let's not try. But 22 years old, this guy. I think he'll be a good little player playing off Girard today, and I'm hoping that this is a team that can really do some damage for us. Of course, the injuries to Paul Smith, Mora, Mosca, and Mini Mosca, three of those players could have very easily started today's game. I feel like the injury to Paul Smith also limits my options when it comes to how I want to set up, in terms of do I want to play this more narrow system, or do I want to play a system that really makes the most out of the wings. Either way, let's see what we can get done today. I expect to see Barcelona line up with their 4-4-2. Of course, if you missed last episode and you haven't gotten caught up, shame on you. But we lost to them 1-0 with a very late goal. So I'm hoping that today we can, step up to the mark. We've shown last game that we can go toe-to-toe with Real Madrid. Now it's about getting a result over them away from home. And I feel like if we get a result here, even if it's just a point, that is still a massive step forward when it comes to our campaign, really, to get to the Champions League knockout stages, something that I believe we've now done the previous 4 or 5 years. Of course, we reached the semi-final last year, really looking to better that this year, and that's going to be the big challenge for us. And, well, if we want to, do well in this game, we do need to defend set pieces, and, well, it's a set piece here which hasn't been cleared. McMaster, what a tackle that was. Let's not get the ball get into the box. Back post, Gutierrez finishes it, and well, I feel a little bit sorry for McMaster. He made a fantastic tackle there. Unfortunately, the ball was switched very deep and buried away by Barcelona. Looking at the stats in this game, it's looking awful, if I'm honest. It's really not looking good. And I think we're going to change as a result. We're going to play our wider 4-4-2. That is going to mean, I think, probably playing Gilvan out of position out on the left, but needs must right now. Cabasele on a booking as well is a little bit concerning. Either way, we're going to switch to the 4-4-2 that served us quite well in the last game. As I mentioned, really that left midfielder position, the real reason why I've not started with that system today. I feel like I wanted to try and play down the middle and play to our strengths. It's not worked. I feel like I might take off Gilvan here. Now, it's a little bit unfair of me to criticise his performance because he's been played completely out of position. But at the same time, getting a natural kind of player who can play out on the left in Daniel Forster, I think is going to be essential in the second half. You look at the stats, Barcelona have had a lot of chances, but in truth, we had that one highlight that was the goal in the first half. And I'm hoping that with an improved performance in the second half, and perhaps with my words of wisdom ringing in the players' ears as they go out for the second half, we can try and bounce back into this and try and get a point. It's going to be a big ask, though, you'd feel. But then again, we have a little bit of I was about to say a good record over Barcelona. That's perhaps not the correct terminology. We have a little bit of a reputation, I guess, of giving this Barcelona squad, a tough time. I'm still really paranoid about Cabasele at left back, if I'm honest. I can see him going into a challenge soon and getting sent off. Young, nice save. Can the ball be whipped in? It is. Cleared away again by Mustafa. It's going to be a goal kick. 2 minutes in. And we're living life a little bit on the edge there, you'd have to say. Barcelona very nearly scoring to double their lead. You'd think if they go 2-0 up here in this Champions League game, that's going to cause us some problems. Worth noting, Roma, they're losing to Steaua Bucharest. I've just seen that result pop up. That would be a big result regardless of what happens here. Mustafa, nice tackle. Shocking defending, though. I want to know how this goes in. I think Mustafa collects the ball and kicks it at the back of the attacker he dispossesses. Regardless, Barcelona get that second goal. You'd have to say they probably deserve it. Mustafa, yeah, he just kicks it at the player and it breaks very kindly. But at the same time, we've had 2 shots all game. Just simply put, not good enough. Really not good enough. I'm going to make a double change, I think, here. I'm going to bring in Junior, and I'm also going to bring in, if we just pause the game, Bouchard at centre, attacking mid, and then I'm going to bring in Gary to play deep line playmaker. We have 17 minutes to try and make something happen. We're going to go for the more attacking tactic, one that, to be honest, hasn't worked in recent games against Barcelona, but you never know. Sometimes you just need to try something slightly different, and, well, we need 2 goals to get anything here. And, well, we need to defend as well as Barcelona bring the ball forward. Nice block there. Now can Mustafa clear the play? He can. Forster. Number 21 is open. That is Fernandez, the Brazilian. Lays it back to Gary. Gary out to Junior. Can he whip in the ball? He can. Fernandez is there. Let's go. There might be a little lifeline right there. There might. Regardless, it's good for the goal difference. Gary involved in the build-up play, a big lofted ball over to Junior, who whipped the ball in, and, well, Fernandez, not known for his aerial prowess, but that is one hell of a header right into the top left corner. And, well, in a game that we've really not deserved a lot from, we now have maybe half a chance. I'm going to tell the players aggressively and kind of demand more from them. We really need to motivate them here. 6 minutes left in the game to try and get something more. It's going to take a monumental performance. And unfortunately, with 2 minutes left, I don't think we've got that performance in us. It's going to end 2-1 here. 2 narrow defeats to Barcelona. Perhaps they are making amends a little bit for, well, the knockout stage last year where they got knocked out to us on penalties. I'm going to tell the players they were unlucky. Really hoping Roma lost against Steaua Bucharest. And looking at it, they did. Which is a massive result for us because it means that a good result against Steaua Bucharest puts us in pole position to make it out of the group stage. Anyway, I'm going to go forward. We've got that style game to look forward to. Hopefully we can get a good result there. It's actually in a little while. It's, well, in 21 days. So we have some time to recover. It's going to be on TV. It's going to be at the Space Park. Stick around. Let's see if we can get out the group stage. Okay, guys, so we are back for the second game of today's live com. Going to be against Steaua Bucharest. Before we get into this, just a little bit of news, something that I forgot to touch on before the last game. You'll notice that our overall balance is obviously continuing to rise, mostly down, in fact, to the income we are getting from TV deals. You can see that so far this year we've received £37 million just from the Primera Division, and that's going to be kind of more than last year in total by the end of the year. As a result, our balance has continued to rise, as you'd kind of expect, up to £90 million, and as a result, the board have given me £51 million to spend. If I can find the players to spend the money on, I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I've noticed one thing that's starting to happen in this save is that, I don't know if there's a lack of regens, but there seems to be a lack of players who can really add to my squad. So one thing I'm thinking about doing from next year is adding and removing some leagues. Well, not removing any, but adding some leagues. You can see at the moment, these are the leagues that I've got active. And in reality, stuff like MLS just isn't going to generate players worth my time anymore. Neither is the lower leagues of England. So what I'm thinking about doing is potentially removing, say, the Vanarama Conference and below and MLS from my save, and then adding some new leagues. So as you guys may or may not know, if you add more leagues, you have more players. Obviously, when you add players, or rather, when you add a league, so I was to add France, and I wanted to add the top 2 flights, the players will increase by 4,000. Those players are generated in France, playing for French clubs at different stages in their career. But it does mean we could end up with, say, a 27-year-old who regens to fill up a spot in France, who doesn't have any playing history before the age of 27. But I do feel like that's probably going to be beneficial. It will also make Europe a little bit more competitive if we have these leagues loaded. And as you can see, it will make a little bit of a difference to the player count, albeit perhaps at the cost of a little bit of performance. Either way, I'm going to think about more of that at the end of the year in terms of what leagues I actually want to add and remove. But just so you guys are aware, that's going to be a thing that might be going on. Another little bit of news just before we begin. Mick Vitti has hung up his boots. Aaron McVitie, what a name that is. And, well, he's joined us as a coach, which is awesome. So this guy, 33 years old, Scottish, of course. If we look at his career stats, you can see he played for us for 3 years back really when we first turned pro, and he was a good little winger for us. and he now joins us as a staff, as a coach. Now, he's a pretty crap coach, if I'm honest, but I'm hoping he can improve. He's still 33, so he's got plenty of time to perhaps improve some of his staff attributes. But nevertheless, just nice to have a few familiar names at the club. There is one other player who's at the club who I feel like I've talked about this before, but then there's a weird part of me that thinks I may not have done. So obviously with my staff, I've had a fair few staff. I don't think I've talked about this actually the more I think about it. Tristan Sargent. Anyway, he's joined us as a coach. You guys may remember him as a player. He was just an amazing player for us during our first 5 or 6 years, really. You can see he really contributed a lot to the team. And he's not actually too bad, kind of in terms of his attributes. They're not standout, but it's nice to have some of these players at the team. And as I mentioned, I don't really talk much about my coaching setup, mostly down to the fact that, in truth, it's just not changed a lot over the last few years. I could probably do with looking to see if there's any areas where I can improve it that little bit more. But to be honest, over the last kind of few years, it's more so just been a case of kind of, renewing contracts when need be. Like I said, there are probably some areas that I can improve now, so that might be something I look to do. Probably not mid-season, but, over the next summer. Just try and revamp the coaching staff a little bit. But you can see for the most part, it's fairly good. People sometimes ask me about how I do my coaching. Each different area has different key attributes kind of needed to give you a better star rating. I tend to have one specialist in every single department, and then a few kind of jack of all trades coaches who you can kind of see are just here doing a load of different roles in order to lower the workload from heavy onto average. So that's a little bit about my coaching setup. As I said, there's nothing too exceptional about that at the moment. It's definitely something I should look to reinvest in and look to develop, and I think that's something that I will do kind of come the summer. Anyway, let's get into today's game against Steaua Bucharest. Of course, Paul Smith, Mini Mosca, and Carlos Andres Mora all still out with long-term injuries. That said, Mosca back in the side, so that's good for him. Whether or not he's going to be fit enough to play the whole game remains to be seen. In terms of the opposition, I'm just curious to see how Steaua Bucharest are expected to play. So they're expected to play a 4-2-3-1. I kind of want to match them, I think, and operate a similar system. So I think we'll go with something like this. I'm just kind of checking to make sure my staff has done an okay job picking the team here. I think there's a few areas where we can improve it just a little bit. All in all, he's not done a terrible job. I'll give him some credit for once. He's done an okay job of picking our team for us today. But yeah, I mean, I look at this team. It's a good team. Obviously, the injury to Smith's a bit of a problem out on the left. It leaves us with Fiolos really as our kind of main man on the left wing, and truth be told, he's probably not quite good enough to be kind of a regular player for us in Europe. But I'm hoping filling in he can do a good job for us. The rest of the team kind of picks itself in a lot of ways. I am going to play, I think, JJ ahead of Graphite. So it'll be JJ and Bouchard with Gilvan just playing on ahead. Gilvan really has developed a lot, the 23-year-old. And he's done a good job. And of course at the back it's just kind of the usual suspects really. Mustafa, McMaster. There's nothing crazy going on here. Really, I'm just hoping that we can get the performance that we need out of the team today. We are taking on Steaua Bucharest. Because of the way the fixtures work, we're kind of hoping here that Barcelona beat Roma. We win this game, and then we're in a really good position to make it out the groups. It's worth noting that our head-to-head record with AS Roma is vastly superior. Of course, we beat them 4-0 in a live com, so it would take a swing of 4 goals to see them knock us out, which I don't want to say is unlikely, and I don't see happening, because that's kind of famous last words, but at the same time, realistically, if we were to get 3 points ahead of Roma here, I'd feel very confident going into that last game against them that we're not going to concede 4 goals and, well, as a result, get knocked out of the Champions League groups. Either way, let's see what we can do here. It's going to be a tough game, this one, potentially. Worth noting, of course, Roma did beat Barcelona before in the other tie that they are playing, obviously, whilst we play here against Steaua Bucharest. So, although I want, Roma to lose, they may well win the game, and that could be a bit of an interesting scenario that unfolds going into that last game that would be against Roma, I believe, away from home, which might not be particularly easy. Either way, let's see what we can do here. 7 minutes gone. Mosca bringing the ball forward. Good to see him back to full fitness. Lone striker role today. Gilvan is ahead. So there's Bouchard. Fire loss. Nice. Oh, love it. Love it. What a move that is. I'm loving that. Some really nice crisp passing. Ball gets switched across to Junior, the right winger, kind of cutting inside a little bit. That's just such a nice goal. Bouchard, beautiful ball there, outside the foot, threads it through. Fireloss lays off, and Junior's just there to wrap up the move. The keeper just stands there and has to be an observer with all of that going on. Just worked so nicely around him. hopefully we can build off that. That said, Steaua Bucharest with possession here, yet to have a shot on target, but they have got a few men over and they've actually got a chance here potentially, and they've taken that chance. It's a hammer blow into the roof of the net there, and well, Young should perhaps do a little bit better for us, you'd have to say. A little bit disappointed by him, but with their first shot of the game, they score, and as much as I want to make of excuses, that's a fantastic finish, and we've let them have space in our own 18-yard box. And well, when you give a player that much space, it's not always that they score, but certainly you give them the opportunities to do exactly that. And it's a good finish, and that could really change the momentum in this game. In a game that we got the early goal in, we were performing well, we concede an unnecessary goal. That said, we are on the attack ourselves. What a way this would be to reply if we could score. Gilvan tries to thread for his man. McMaster picks up though, now with Bouchard, lays it up, Junior the goal scorer, lays it to Gilvan, Gilvan with the effort, saved, rebound is not going to go in either, going to be cleared away, you'd think, by Steaua Bucharest here, still applying some pressure really high up the pitch, and yeah, that is going to be the end of that chance there, but with 11 minutes gone, there's another chance. This has been a game with no defending so far. Junior lays off to Mosca, Mosca's got to bury that, a great tackle I think it was, by the right centre-back there, almost definitely saved a goal. We've had 4 clear-cut chances after 14 minutes, but the scores are 1-1. And, well, we need to start trying to take some of these chances, don't we? A draw, it just isn't good enough in this game. In a game that, I don't know, we are dominating. I don't even feel like that's an unfair kind of statement to make. We have been on top in this game. And, well, it's Steaua Bucharest on the attack. McMaster, nice interception there. I always feel a little bit nervy in these kind of games. You know, you have a load of chances, you squander them. And, well, the other team, sometimes they just go up the other end and have 2 shots and score 2 goals. But that's not what's happened today thus far. That said, they have got the ball given away to JJ. It seems like Steaua Bucharest really struggling to cope with our high pressing at times. And resulting in a lot of chances coming from them, giving away the ball. Mosca with the effort there. Carried out for a corner, actually, by the goalkeeper. Might have been a little bit of a mistake. That was a clear-cut chance, though, for Mosca. And whilst he's been out for a long time, when he's been injured in the past, Mosca, he's been able to come back into the team. He's been able to, you know, find that goal-scoring form immediately. A bit like Danny Sturridge, you know, goes out, gets injured for a long time, just seems to come back and be able to score. In this game so far, he's had a lot of chances and he's not taken them. And I don't want to say it leaves me a little bit worried, but, well, we need a much improved second-half performance. The players, I'm trying to get some of them fired up. Overall, a fairly good response from them. Let's see if that can be reflected on the pitch here. And well, what was that fire loss? Like, what was that? Answers on a postcard as to what that was. I think it was a cross. I hope it was a cross. He shouldn't be shooting there. Either way, set piece here. Punched away. Mosca, though, edge of the area. JJ to Mustafa, the centre-back. Bouchard, he can hit them from there. Hits the woodwork. What a goal that could have been. It was a Gerrard-esque shot from the edge of the box of the deep line playmaker Joe Bouchard, who of course has the captain's armband. It's ricocheted off the post. Now we have a set piece which Bouchard wins, and now it's Mosca in a 2v1, lays off fire loss. He has pace. Can he use it? He doesn't need to. JJ, Junior, out on the right. Can he get the ball of quality in? He floats it to the back post, but it's cleared away. Only as far as Cabaselli. Now with Mosca. Junior probably should finish that. It doesn't even hit the target, and now, well, they have a set piece. And it's at the back post. It's been blocked away by Cabaselli. He may have just stopped a goal. That was a clear-cut chance. And, well, in a game where we're drawing, if we conceded then, that would have been like the nightmare scenario. Looking at the overall performances, it's been a pretty disappointing game by a few players. We're going to make some changes. I'm going to bring in Sebastian Gerrard. I'm going to bring in Fireloss, who's going to come off as Daniel Forster. We do have one more sub. I think I'm going to hold on to it for now. But no, I don't know really what to make of this so far. It's been a weird game. A game that I came into very confident that we'd get a result here at the Space Park. And, well, everything but the scoreline itself is certainly in our favour. And, well, now we have another set piece to deal with. And we've not dealt with it. And Nielsen scored it. We've been FM'd. We've been FM'd in the, well, the purest of forms, haven't we? Steaua Bucharest, 3 clear-cut chances. To be fair, they've created a fair few chances. It's a set piece and it should be dealt with. Who is that? That's Mustafa, isn't it? I can tell by how tall he is. Really got to get that interception. Nielsen buries it. It's a good finish in the end. But I don't even know. I feel like the wind has been kicked out of us. Barcelona and Roma drawing. Really, I need Barcelona to win unless we're going to draw ourselves here. We'll make our last change of the game. I'm going to take off Joe Bouchard and I'm going to bring on Gary. Do I want to make any tactical amends for the last however many minutes we've got left of this game? I guess I probably should. Let's commit the men forward. Let's try and get them in the box and see what we can do. I feel like at this point we're better off going for the game rather than kind of worrying about our goal difference in any way. We've used all our subs. That is the change that we are going to make, I think. I'll tell you what, I'm going to play Gilvan as a shadow striker as well. That's what we're going to do. I should probably do some instruction changes as well, the more I think about it. Let's hit early crosses, look to hit it into the box quickly. More direct, higher tempo. We've got to just hunt the ball down now. We don't have long left in this game to try and rescue something. And, well, the tactical change hasn't even come into play, and it's the 88th minute. I think this game is going to finish 2-1, and we are going to have been FM'd. That said, there's a chance. Which way is it going to go? Of course, we're committing men forward here. We are very much leaving ourselves exposed at the back. It's a conscious decision I've made, and it looks like it might backfire here. Steaua Bucharest bringing forward the ball. Lots of space down this right-hand side. They cut inside. Can the ball equality be found? It can. It's cleared away. Now can we counter? JJ kicks it up to no one. And while there's still 2 minutes left and there's still a chance in this game you'd feel one way or another, we do need to defend well here. And actually, it's them bringing forward it could be 3-1. Young has saved us from embarrassment, really. 90 seconds left in this game. I mean, fair play. Steaua Bucharest, they've come here with a plan. They've executed it, but 6 clear-cut chances to only score 1 goal. It's not good enough, is it? It's really not good enough. This is a game where you'd back us. You'd expect us to try and get something here. And Steaua Bucharest, credit to them, they defended well. They did let us have a few chances. It seemed like we missed our chances more than they saved them. And ultimately, we're going to pay the price here, I think, unless there's a very, very late goal. Forster, options on ahead. Switches it to Gaiganov. Just get the ball in the box. Crosses it. Junior, can you cross it in? Gaiganov whips it in. Girard is not there. Fella going to collect. That's going to be all she wrote. Steaua Bucharest, fair play to them. A 2-1 win. A double defeat this episode. And it looks like the other game drew 2-2. I didn't notice any other score kind of updates come through. Looking at it here, Roma did draw. It means going into that last game against Roma, we have to beat them, which is going to be a pretty big ask for us. And it also makes Steaua Bucharest joint with us. If they were to get a result against Barcelona and we lose, we could be in a little bit of trouble. So, I mean, I guess the benefit we have here is the game is still very much in our hands. And, well, given the performance against Roma where we beat them 4-0, I'm hoping we can do something in the kind of second game against them here in the group stage. That said, I don't know, this could have been a lot more comfortable. 2 games in, we were looking very good. You'll notice here, I'm scouting Gimo Lorenko II. I'm trying to see if he wants to become a staff member, because he's 33 and unemployed, but he's not interested at the moment. I'm hoping we can get him back, though. Maybe. I mean, he's declined a bit as a player, hasn't he? He's only 33. What happened? What happened to you? You went to Germany, then you went to France, and then you went to Denmark. Well, there you go. Apparently Denmark, they like cut people's legs off, so they have no pace. Either way, I don't know where I'm going with that. Let's wrap up this episode here. Roma is the next game. That will be the next live com. It's going to be a big game for us. Hopefully you guys will stick around for that one. Gibraltar Lions immediately follows. I might even do that as a separate episode following the Roma one. I'm not entirely sure. We'll see how things go. As always, if you have enjoyed this video, smash the like button. If you have got any comments, feel free to leave them down below. And other than that, guys, it is me, Jack. And I will talk to you guys in a bit where we will be back for the Champions League group stage conclusion.